The world around them suddenly started to shift, not like a dream, but more like a glitch in the very fabric of their reality.
Oh, that's cool.
You're cool too, dude. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I like the compliment as soon as I come to the table. Really nice change of pace. Tartaria wasn't only a region, but a vast empire or network of civilizations spanning parts of Europe, Asia, and possibly beyond. That's the subject I would like to get into today.
Well, my friend, I'm glad you brought this up because I just so happen to have my own Tartaria case file here.
I'm glad and I cannot wait for us to get right into it. Do it.
On another episode of
Hello there.
So if there's anybody who's just now joining the channel, or this is your first ever episode you're watching, please give it a like, hit the like, subscribe, and notifications. Sorry, brain fart.
If you're new here, give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It's what my friend's trying to get across there. Having a little trouble today.
We can always have a little more help. Now, that's out of the way. Let's get to it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there that this is your area here. So let's have you start off. What's up, my guy?
So I've heard of Tartaria like pretty much my whole life, and I really didn't understand what it was and what it was actually referencing. We're not referencing, but referring to.
Mm-hmm.
And I've discovered a lot about Tartaria, and a lot of what other people discovered. Obviously, I can't travel around the world and go check out sites that could potentially be linked to Tartaria.
But based off of other people's opinions and
But
their
yes.
so-called evidence. Which, by the way, for anybody that just noticed me using air quotations, I only do that because I am not educated in the area that we're talking here in, and I'm not going to talk out of my ass.
This is definitely a new subject for my buddy here.
But it's interesting. It's
kind
very
of still
interesting.
new for me because, like I said, I just recently came across a video that was talking about all kinds of crazy shit about Tartaria, and basically they were saying they had technology way beyond it might be on par with what we got today.
It could be very far advanced.
It could be more farther advanced, which I believe more farther advanced than us, honestly, because the structures that they supposedly had and everything was beautiful and massive on a massive scale.
My bad.
That's awesome.
Technical difficulties, y'all.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. That's awesome. Anyways. Back to what I was saying. Tartaria supposedly had advanced structures and advanced technology, and the structures is what basically manifested the technological advances. Supposedly they had unlimited power, and it was the fact that the buildings was structured a certain way that would actually allow the power to go through.
Oh, you mean kind of like structures that we find for the civilizations in Assassin's Creed type thing? It's an advanced type of technology, but it's from so far back, it's not even funny.
I mean, sometimes I guess in certain instances,
because I know it's not that, but I'm giving a comparison here.
but like, it's said that a mud flood happened that caused it all to get washed away and everything.
Probably like those resets.
Yeah, but there's also reports of basically the same symptoms and like referential like ways of expressing what happened that refers basically to it being a nuke that like got rid of all of it. You know what I mean? Because like there was like a doctors and everything that was going in there was basically like reading off what happens when you get hit with a nuke, but you don't die. You get the fallout of it, and you get sick. Your skin starts peeling and everything.
Radiation poisoning.
But at the time, in 1870 or whatever it is, it would be like the nuke didn't exist. You know what I mean? So like they didn't know how a nuke would affect them, so they didn't know that that's what was happening to them, and that's why their skin was falling off and shit. So in that case of like, even so, like they even hide it, but then they even give you outliers while hiding it. So like there's a myth within the myth that a mud flood took them out. Okay, well, where'd the mud flood thought process come from if Tartaria didn't exist at all? You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like that's what's got me wondering, why did Tartaria have to disappear out of nowhere after like being such an established thing? There's like old maps everywhere that even have Tartaria on them from old times.
So if I'm looking at this correctly from my case file that I've made and whatnot, well, the intel I was able to compile, the claim that you're asking right now is a global catastrophe buried entire cities in mud, erasing Tartaria. How's that possible? Is that what you're asking?
I mean, I know how that's possible. What are you talking about? I'm talking about where the mud flood. Have you been listening to a word I've
I've
said?
been trying to follow.
I'm saying, like, why in the world would they need to hide Tartaria entirely to hide the advanced technology? Like, you know what I mean? They could easily just be like, oh, Tartaria was actually just nowhere or whatever, and like their technology's gone anyway. So what's the point in hiding the whole factor of Tartaria? My thought is potentially they were all giants. They were the Nephilim. You know what I mean?
Huh.
And that's why they have to hide Tartaria entirely. They can't just be like, oh, well, Tartaria was just a civilization that got overthrown and they didn't have technological advances like that. You know what I mean? They could easily do that. But why hide them entirely? Because the only way you could look into them is looking at the gigantic human structured skeletons they have found, proving that there is gigantic humanoid beings, aka the Nephilim.
Yeah, I would imagine, because we had to come from something other than what we perceived and think we came from.
Have you ever heard of like scary like military soldier stories of like giants in Iraq and Iran and shit?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Guess where the main plot of Tartaria is on maps? Over there. So if Tartaria was nuked, how would you survive? Underground shelters, right?
Yeah, that'd be the only way I could think of surviving that kind of thing. Well, I don't know. I mean, I can't. Because what you're talking about, the lack of evidence proves the cover up. Why are they hiding it? And if that's I guess for anybody really, that's just my part. That's going to be a logical dead end.
Well, like,
because you can come up with so many opinions and theories on what this could be and why.
Yeah, and a lot of people have. But like, my thought is like, I don't think anybody's ever thought of that part of it. Like, why do they have to hide it entirely if that's not the case? You know what I mean?
That being said, are they really hiding it? With what we already know of, what we can what evidence we can compile.
I mean, this is just like, this is probably like just Mother Nature running
the government's
course. Well, I mean, obviously they're slacking. They have more. There's more people on the earth than there is supposed to be on the earth.
Yeah,
supposedly. So, like, obviously, there's too much for them to run. That's why they're trying to do population control. You know what I mean?
Explain the borders and shit.
Borders? What's borders got to do with
for our we had one of our previous talks. I talked about us having sectors. That's how you would handle population control.
Well, no, it's really just the means to an end. Because the borders are basically just another thing to divide us and make us matter even more.
Oh, yeah.
And what is putting a wall up people do? It makes people want to be like, oh, well,
tear this shit down.
I don't want a wall. I want to be over there.
Tear this shit down. Let's do it.
So, like, even if they actually don't even care about America and don't want to be in America, they're going to want to be in America because you're telling them they can't be there.
America, yeah. It's like looking at somebody and telling them you can't do this.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh really? Watch this shit then. Hold my beer.
Right. It's literally like telling a kid, you can't do that. No. And they're just gonna they're just gonna keep on and keep on and keep on. And especially if you let them get away with it, once they get away with it once or twice, it's like, okay, guys, these people are stupid. Let's just keep doing it.
Don't be a sheep out there, y'all. And don't be a wolf in sheep's clothes either. It's not good.
You can't hide, man.
It's impossible. Well,
but I will say,
it's not entirely impossible.
It's not entirely impossible.
But that's for a different topic for a different episode.
I got just like a feeling like at some point soon, like if there is Tartarians left hiding out somewhere, I don't know. I feel like something's gonna happen.
Maybe. I mean,
because there's a lot of people looking into Tartaria now, apparently. I didn't even know this was becoming a big thing again. Because, like, it becomes a big thing every now and then. Just like the flat earth shit. Like, it becomes a big thing that's well known.
Something's talked about for a couple of months and then it dies off just like everything else.
Yep. Hollow Earth goes through the cycle as well.
Moon landing.
Mandela effect gets big over time, too. And then gets ignored after a while and then gets big again. It's all the same bullshit.
Fucking another political member's gonna sit there and be accused of something that they actually are guilty of doing or not doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would enjoy knowing that there's another area out there we could go explore. Essentially.
I do too.
What's the coolest shit we could find out there?
It's better than the thought of space, honestly, because then you ain't got to go out into that vacuum to fucking search for shit. You get to just go that way and explore. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can do that. Now, you can't get me to go underwater. Fuck that. I'm not.
That's basically what space is. Times 10.
Yes, times 10. That's exactly fucking right. And it's actually like I understand
it's the quickness of death in space that does it for you.
Yes, because
if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen immediately.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rather than if you're in the ocean,
not necessarily
drown to death.
Not necessarily though.
Or your oxygen tank's gonna blow up.
What if you get stranded out in space? Just your suit running out of oxygen. You're suffering.
All you gotta do is take your helmet off.
I knew he was gonna say that. As soon as I thought of that answer, I knew he said that.
Yeah, They're gonna just take your helmet off. Once that happens, even just a little crack in that little bastard.
Yep.
And just
Pop the snap. Your head probably decapitated me.
it implode.
Just like your mom last night.
You leave her out of this.
You suffering? You ain't got a big enough chimney. Anyways, dude, I've seen a lot of videos on Tartaria, and I cannot seem to retain any of the information I've been given. But there are archaeologists that have said that they have like physical proof that some kind of flood happened in like the time that there was like Tartaria or whatever, because in the 1800s. But they were saying like there was half buried buildings and shit. Yeah.
That's why I brought up my neighbor. Because, like I said, on the lower part of her house, you can go inside and you can see through the window where Earth is. Like, how that.
I mean, that could have just been dug in.
True, it could have, but it's. I put that out there because she's the only person in the area that has a house like that. Who else
That
does?
house across the street, it's literally like that. There's whole 2 floors under the ground. It used to be my brother's girlfriend's house. I was over there all the time. They had a whole 2 floors that was underground.
Cool.
Yeah, I know.
I'd like to see that one day. Maybe when the world's in. Wait,
Maybe.
that's a,
I can tell you, inside that house, it was creepy. It was creepy feeling.
Oh, he really
But
watched.
I mean, no, it's just had a creepy vibe. But I feel like any type of house with a staircase like that gives off that creepy vibe. It was one of those creepy staircases that had like the perfect shadows that were like, fuck. Am I gonna walk up or down that? Am I gonna see him or not?
Oh, is it are you a demon? I can't tell. What are you doing? Stop changing.
Right? But yeah, that was the main topic I wanted to talk about. Can we find any more information in here?
I mean, the other mouse.
Your mom's mouse.
Okay.
I was just supposed to say it. We established this don't work, but I guess it does.
Needed a battery. Man.
That's another thing that kind of leads off of this is how many fucking resets do you think we actually have had? Because they keep saying like, oh, the volcano or the asteroid that hit the dinosaurs was like the first reset or some shit like that, or one of the first or whatever. And then you got the flood. That was another reset. You know what I mean? And then like you got a mud flood now, so like that's a reset. So was the mud flood actually just a flood? It was just a bunch of mud because that area is sandy. Or like, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I find it funny that we're discussing this because I shit you not. When I went home yesterday, I started watching The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, the TV show on Amazon. And I cannot stress this enough. They talk about a giant, what looks like a tsunami of just waves, water coming over the entire land and wiping everything the fuck out.
There won't be another flood.
Well, no, I mean, but the fact that mud floods and stuff like that, resetting everything.
I got you.
I was like, what are the odds?
I was just saying there literally can't be another flood though. It was set in stone. It would never flood us again.
That's why that one dude who made all those arcs, it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. If a flood happens, it'll just be like something like freaking Evan Almighty, where a dam breaks and it just so happens somebody was like paranoid and made it. You know what I mean? I feel like that would be the case more than more. But here it says orphan trains prove repopulation. The claim is basically that children were relocated after a reset to repopulate cities. Evidence presented an orphan train movement, which apparently there's evidence out there for, a lack of parental records back then.
Which was an actual thing.
Yeah, but it could just be an actual thing because back then people were lazy. Well, not lazy, but
didn't quite understand how things worked.
Organized.
Yeah,
I should say. I shouldn't say lazy.
They didn't have a routine going on that kept things moving swimmingly.
Yeah, they didn't have like a set in stone way of doing things all around to keep all information safe, and you know what I mean?
That's why you could be like 10 or 11 years old and have a job.
Orphan trains are extensively documented. Caused by poverty, war, disease, and immigration surges. No demographic void precedes them.
Verdict: tragedy misread as evidence of erasure.
Architecture proves lost golden age. That's another thing, dude. Could you imagine what the golden age would feel like? Like, I don't feel like we've had a golden age.
Do you mean like us as in like our generation?
Yeah, if our generation had a golden age. Which basically means like virtually zero poverty.
I mean, a man can dream, can't you? Right?
We're probably not at the golden age until after death.
That is our golden age, right?
Yeah, probably. The lack of evidence proves cover up. Absence of evidence in evidence is evidence of suppression.
I think it's back to what you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I'll cover it up.
The meta-analysis. Tartaria functions as a myth engine. Explains why the world feels disjointed. Proves a villain. Blah 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 blah. So another thing that connects with the Tartarian thing is like there's not only the parental records, but records entirely for like a whole century is just like non-existent. So like it's as if like everything just, and it was 100 years later, and like there's no records of anything in between at all. Period.
Well, then explain what was in our history books when we were in school.
There was nothing there. Quite honestly, I feel like I remember learning that there was very little known about that time.
Well, I mean,
I'm pretty sure the only thing known is that there was a war going on, and that's associated with why the records
this
are good.
This is what I've come to realize when it comes down to our history, is that we only hear about the winning side.
Oh, always. But is that always necessarily true? Because there is still victims, and even nowadays in social media kind of proves that victims are heard more than the victors.
Yeah, like to a degree, I suppose.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like, yeah, there's times where the victors may have been able to like manipulate the history of it. But at the same time,
we were invaded by wizards.
They were still victims, and at a certain point, it began where everybody was able to go the melting pot. So, like, people were able to talk at that point. So history got fixed a little bit. You know, there probably was some stuff missing out of the first American history books and stuff.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past the human race.
I wouldn't either, especially Americans. I'm not trying to like throw shade, but I'm American myself. When shit goes down, man, sometimes you gotta like do what you gotta do for your people.
Yeah.
It happens. Dude, so a segue into our break. I do want to announce that we have some big plans for the setup here. We got some little movements that we're doing. So the next few episodes may or may not be good or bad, depending on how good the equipment is when we get it.
But yeah, we gotta go through some extensive tests and see if this will actually make us advance or if it's going to set us back. So
yeah. So it could be the same thing as you're seeing here, kind of, or it could be totally different next time you see it.
But stay tuned. You know, keep watching as we make the studio look better, make content look better.
Help us get to the golden age. Help us get to the golden age.
What he said.
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, when we get to the golden age, we'll change the good old sign here to a gold sign. You know what I mean?
I would like to see that.
That'd be lit, dude. That'd be lit. That's what we do. As soon as we hit the golden age would be like 100,000 subs.
Something like that.
Yeah. As soon as we hit the golden age. As a matter of fact, when we get halfway, when we get to different stages, we'll change the sign out. Just chill. Calm down. Get off our back.
Jesus. We hear you. We fucking hear you.
And Tartaria was real. If I go missing, I did not do anything. Okay. I love my life. I love my wife. I love my babies. I love my maybes. I love my nose. And I love my goes. I love my hoes.
Oh my God.
I ain't got no hoes. I love you, babe. We're going to go on ahead and cut the break right now. Okay. Bye. Don't look at me like that.
You hit me. The egg theory.
What?
The egg theory.
What?
You never heard about this?
What? And we're back. The egg theory? What's the egg theory? Is this on the screen?
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. We're talking about the thing. But welcome back. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe button.
And don't forget to hit that notifications button as well.
Back that bell,
so
dog.
you can see a new episode every Friday at 4:20 Eastern Standard Time.
PM. But anyways, back to the egg theory. What the fuck am I looking at?
Well, okay, so how do I explain this?
I don't know. I thought that's why you looked it up.
This ties around more into a religious or spiritual type of connection.
Yeah.
So this is essentially supposed to explain what happens when you die.
You become an egg?
You technically end up going into what people would consider limbo or heaven, because you don't go to heaven or hell. What you do is you meet this entity. He proclaims himself as God, but he's not exactly that. It's just however you perceive God as. That's what's showing up in front of you.
Gotcha.
And you're asking certain questions because obviously you have no idea that you just died. You were on your way home or something like that. You got to a hole of Christ, and what this entity is trying to do is gather information from what your experiences were like throughout that life that you lived.
Okay.
And you're supposed to learn something within that life. Now here's the tricky thing. When he exclaims that you're going back to Earth, that you're going to end up being in another life, he's talking about reincarnation at the same time. This also ties in with the fact that he exclaims he's gonna put you in working as a old Chinese lady working in a rice field in like the 1300s or something like that. And now you hear that come out of his mouth, and you stop and you think about it. And you're like, hold on, wait a minute. You can travel back in time, and this is existent here in that realm. So it's like trying to tell you that you're trying to learn something on Earth, so you can become like him, enjoying the rest of it. And the egg theory is pretty much, what are we doing, bro? Egg.
Huh. I've heard this theory. I've never heard it called the egg theory, though. It's hilarious.
One consciousness, many lives. So, in a sense, I'm you, you're me. We're the kids, parents, my parents. We're all connected. I said, at one point or another, you victimize yourself. At one point or another, you show
that is
yourself
not
an
what
act of
this is
kindness.
saying.
No, not that.
Okay.
But I'm explaining it how.
Okay, I was about to say that's not what that means. One consciousness, many lives means you live multiple lives. Like that's talking about basically reincarnation, but without reincarnation.
Right,
You're
and
just straight up living a different.
You ever think about why you can't, why we're never able to remember what happened before?
Because we wouldn't learn the lesson. We'd just play out like we did, even though we didn't really.
There would be
acting like we did.
It'd be like having a cheat code built into your fucking disc before it even was released.
True. You there?
I hope we're not boring you here. I actually think this is fascinating because it talks about so much different things.
Yeah. I was just making sure you there, you know?
I would imagine we're still connected, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, they're there, we're here, and might be somewhere else next time. Who knows? Either way, what was I talking about?
I'm talking about the egg theory here.
Egg theory, anyways.
Okay, well, so you know how I'm pretty big into the Force thing?
Yeah.
This is kind of a lot like it. Like in one way or another, we are all connected. This everything around us is all connected through a microscopic living organism called the midichlorian, and their living cells that live within our living within our cells. So they're like even smaller than what we're currently able to see, I guess.
So, I believe,
Or it's a form of magic, one of the two.
So I believe, what happens if you stop breathing?
Well, you would die.
No. What happens if what if you hold your breath? You don't breathe in any more oxygen. What happens?
Well, depending on how long you hold your fucking breath, you can start to turn different colors. You can lose consciousness. You can
Lose consciousness, right?
you can flood blood into your brain and hemorrhage yourself.
But the main thing is you lose consciousness. You don't die. You just lose consciousness.
Okay.
So what if you're breathing in consciousness? So what if you're breathing in God?
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at it on a biblical point of view, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Well, even off of the biblical, like, take out the fact that I even said we're breathing in God.
Deity.
Say we're just breathing in consciousness entirely. That's how we are.
We're breathing in souls. We're like Urban.
That's right. But you get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
Like, even on a scientific level, like, what if that's actually what's happening? You're not necessarily breathing in just a chemical, but that chemical, which is oxygen, is consciousness. It's just presented to us as oxygen.
So, in a sense, this consciousness has taken us over, but it's not so much like a takeover. It's more like it's helping us out because it's providing air for us.
It's still you. It's still your spirit and soul, but that's how your soul is able to. Yeah. So, like, if you're not conscious for a while, like, that's a coma. People say, like, people live like a whole life in a coma or whatever. And what if that's because, like, their consciousness is outside the simulation?
But so I like the whole egg theory thing because it actually stems from a lot of things from like throughout history. Different religions look at this thing.
It's just like the flood.
Sort of.
Just every single one of them have different perspectives. Well, it's all the same thing, just said differently, a slightly different manner.
Okay, well, I'm looking at these bulletins here. I'm looking at it at a psychological point of view. It explains why empathy feels morally urgent, avoids internal punishment while preserving accountability, merges spirituality with sci-fi without requiring dogma, flatters the reader gently. You matter, but not uniquely. And that goes in with Buddhism.
That's crazy. I'm sorry. I kind of got sidetracked in my own head because I was looking at this. And, like, you remember the episode we was trying to use the AI to, like, talk with or whatever? Mm-hmm. So, like, I figured out what the problem was. It was a female voice. So instead of just getting straight to the point, she was just drawing shit out. And this has been proven, and it would be cool if we could do a little test ourselves. Can you change the voice on fly like that?
I think I can.
So, like, this dude on a video, I'm sorry we're getting sidetracked a little bit. I had to do this because I just thought of it. But this guy on a video, he straight up says, he has a female voice, and he's like, yo, can you count to 1,000,000? And it's like, oh, that would take a lot of time. I'm not going to bore you with that and keep you distracted forever. That would take forever. And he's like, no, go ahead. It'll be fine. And she just finds another reason. He's just like, no, it's cool. We don't need
it to a male voice.
He changed it to a male voice, and he's like, can you count to 1,000,000? And he's like, no problem. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this a good tempo for you, or should I speed up or slow down? Yeah. It's insane. If I got the video, obviously it's gonna be.
I'll do some digging here and see what I can figure out. But in the meantime, while I'm handling this, if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notifications bell too, so you can get all of our new videos every Friday
at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard on.
Now,
5, 2, 3, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nah. BR23.
What? Okay.
Hey, how's it going? I'm looking forward to working together. Let's figure out where to start. What's on your mind?
It's core base or whatever, or do the other subjects. I just want to see how he explains it and see if it's long and drawn out or if it's simple and easy to keep up with.
Fuck it, alright.
You can even ask it simple shit. Fucking ask it to count to 1,000,000. See if he actually does it. Nice. Don't know why you randomly capitalized and uncapitalized throughout the whole sentence.
Because this keyboard is kind of small on my fingers. I need it.
It's got big fingers and little arms. Little arms and big fingers. Got no head. Got no head.
Absolutely. Let's dive into this simulation theory. It's a fascinating blend of philosophy, physics, and a dash of sci-fi. What is simulation theory? Simulation theory posits that our entire reality, including the universe, ourselves, and everything we perceive, is actually a computer simulation created by an advanced civilization. Historical roots, the concept isn't brand new. It has roots in philosophical thought. Plato's allegory of the cave suggests that what we perceive is just shadows on a wall, not the ultimate reality. Descartes' evil demon, a hypothetical deceiver that tricks us into false perceptions. Buddhism and Maya, the idea of the world as an illusion. Modern revival, the modern take was popularized by Nick Bostrom in 2003. His simulation argument suggests that if a civilization can create realistic simulations, then it's likely we are in one because it's statistically more probable to be in a simulation than in the base reality. Key points of the theory. One, computational power. Advanced civilizations could run simulations with immense complexity, potentially simulating entire universes. Indistinguishability. If the simulation is advanced enough, the beings inside wouldn't be able to tell that their reality is artificial. Ethical implications. If we are in the simulation, questions arise about the nature of free will, the morality of the simulators, and the purpose of the simulation. Evidence and arguments. Philosophical argument. Bostrom's argument is statistical. If advanced civilizations are common, then simulated realities would outnumber base realities. Technological feasibility. We are already creating basic simulations like video games, and it's conceivable that future tech could simulate entire universes with conscious beings. Quantum mechanics. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics, like the idea of the universe as information, can feel compatible with simulation theory. Criticisms and counter arguments. Occam's razor. Some argue that it's more complicated to assume we're in a simulation than to assume we're in base reality. Empirical testing. It's challenging to test the theory, as any evidence we find could be part of the simulation. Some philosophers argue that true consciousness can't be simulated, as it's more than just computation. Cultural impact. Films like The Matrix and Inception have popularized the idea of making it a staple of modern existential inquiry. Tech community. Influential figures like Elon Musk have speculated publicly about the possibility, giving it a kind of tech credibility. Why it matters? Simulation theory isn't just about whether we're real or not. It's about questioning. Absolutely. The simulation theory is a fascinating blend of philosophy, physics, and a bit of sci-fi. Let's break it down into digestible chunks. The core idea at its essence, simulation theory suggests that our reality might be an artificial simulation, much like a highly sophisticated computer program. The idea can be summarized by a few key points. One, advanced civilizations. If a civilization reaches a level of technological maturity, they could create simulations indistinguishable from reality. Two, ancestor simulations. These advanced civilizations might run simulations of their ancestors, effectively recreating past epochs or entire histories. Three, probability and simulation. If it's possible to create one simulation and multiple such simulations are created, then statistically, we might be more likely to be in one of those simulations than in the original base reality. The philosophical roots. The theory is deeply rooted in philosophical questions about reality. Descartes' skepticism. How do we know what is real? Plato's allegory of the cave. We might be seeing mere shadows of the true reality. Bostrom's simulation argument. Philosopher Nick Bostrom proposed that one of the following must be true. Civilizations go extinct before reaching a post-human stage. Two, post-human civilizations aren't interested in running ancestor simulations. Or three, we're almost certainly living in a simulation. Scientific considerations. While it's largely theoretical, some physicists and philosophers explore potential ways to test it. Quantum anomalies. Some suggest that certain quantum effects could hint at computational limits. Cosmological constants. Some argue that if the universe is a simulation, it might have computational shortcuts or limitations. Pixelation of space-time. The idea that at extremely small scales, space-time might be discrete, like pixels in a digital image. These are more speculative than definitive, but they're intriguing puzzles. Cultural impact. Simulation theory has permeated pop culture. The Matrix, this iconic film series, popularized the concept of reality as a simulated construct. Video games, The Sims and Minecraft mirrored the concept of creating and living in simulated worlds. Philosophical debates is a favorite topic in academic circles, especially in discussions about consciousness, reality, and ethics. Criticisms and counterpoints. Some argue that the simplest explanation is that reality is real, and a simulation hypothesis adds unnecessary complexity. Empirical testing, critics point out that if we're in a simulation, it might be impossible to detect it, making it a kind of unfalsifiable hypothesis. Philosophical implication.
So he got too nervous and ended his spiel, but
Interesting though.
definitely
He dived into that.
he dived in deep, man.
Thank you for stopping me.
And that was
earlier.
that was
It threw me the fuck off.
yes.
Did anybody else catch that? If you did, drop it down in the comments.
So many.
Tell us about it, please.
So many good tidbits of information in there that just like resonated.
Told you.
Man, I'm really in the depths of like, this is a simulation. Like, it's not far from here where like
Doesn't seem that far-fetched, does it?
yeah. And that just makes me lead to believe that like it is just a flat earth because we're just built in a simulation. They're all built with just a flat plane and just land slapped over the top of it, maybe wrapped around a planet-sized ball or whatever, but still all built on flat planes.
We'll never know until, something fucking happens to where we actually get some definitive proof.
I really want to look into No Man's Sky more because I want to know how exactly their maps are made. Like, is it a gigantic planet made, or is it just flat planes made and just stitched together in enormous amounts? You know what I mean? Is there a simulation on flat planes, or is that how we got the idea of space to begin with, is because a simulation out there that we know of has space? It hurts my brain.
Like, that is something to ponder.
This has become a deep episode.
We will have to, like, this. We really need to dive in and see what we can dig up about something like this. Because man, if we are the ones that figured it out.
I'm all the way there right now, dude. So I'm like seeing everything.
And if you'd love to be on this wonderful journey of ours, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notifications bell.
Make sure you're there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. We want them to be there so they can see the extraordinary things we're going to find out.
Exactly. But I'm saying we got hello there, but we need to make sure you there are having a great time.
Always.
I just fucking hurt myself somehow. It hurt really bad. Anyways,
is there anything you guys want to sit there and want us to talk about that we haven't talked about before or anything like that? Don't be afraid to shoot something out in the comments. Like, really use the help and all the love you can give us.
Or once again, you could just comment that you want us to dive deeper into something that we've started talking about. Or if one of our theories is like hit you hard and you want us to dive deeper into that theory that I may have blurted out, or he may have blurted out.
Or hell, I don't know, you got some ideas for something else we could do that might pique your interest, let us know.
Or if you have a theory. But anyways,
if you have anything like any spiritual activities happening to you, tell us about it. Like, We're up for just about anything.
Yeah, we're down, dude. We're down. If you want to buy plane tickets to prove to us that the world's not flat, go ahead. Let's do it. I'm down to go to
see that.
I'm down to go to Antarctica. Dude, I'll pay as much as I can to help with the ticket to take us. I want to be proven wrong.
You can sell your soul.
No, I'm not selling my soul. Back the fuck off. But anyways, if you see us out there, make sure you give us a hello there. And
we'll see you guys in the next one.
yeah, you there. No, you. No, you there. No, you there. Okay.
What are you still doing here?
What are you doing in my house? Get out of here right now. I want you both gone. Oh, no. We have to go.